Hello everyone, Heir of Spartacus here, and yes, the Servile Rebellion is on both sides of this battle. A lot of the players, of course, are getting used to this faction because it's new, and so you're probably going to see it in a lot of the sub-commanders battles, but that's okay because it's new to us too, and I think we like getting the opportunity to see what this army is capable of. Now on the home team here, the Servile Rebellion is playing as Player 2, which is basically spears and missiles. So we're going to see the Champions of Capua here. That really cool unit here. Very tough unit, high damage, big damage, so dangerous unit. Interesting stuff there. The Rebel Militia is going to be out here, say, just kind of really trashy infantry unit. It shows it as a spear on the banner there, but these guys are like carrying like hammers and daggers and just whatever they can pick up off of the kitchen counter, I think. We do have Rebel Marksmen, so this is one of those cool hybrid units that we saw. So it's going to be a really neat one there. And then we've got, let's see, Rebel Slingers, 2 more of those up front. There are some Rebel Spearmen, Rebel Veteran Spearmen, so we have a little bit higher tier unit here. That looks a lot like a, like it's going to be a Thurio Spear unit potentially there. So we'll see how that one plays out, but some more veteran spears in the back and some more Rebel Slingers. So the rest of these armies here, Galatia is playing the sword line. That makes sense. It's going to be a mix of Galatian swords, Galatian legionaries, and that Tetrarch Guard. So that's going to be a cool unit to see for them. Very potent general here, heavy melee infantry, very powerful unit indeed. And then Parthia bringing up the cavalry. I see a Camelfract, 2 of those there. And then over here we've got a Noble Horse Archer and a Noble Horse Archer General who are kind of holding the river crossing across from the, I believe this is Royal Scythia across from there, though I could be wrong. It could be Sarmatia as well. I sometimes get their flags confused. And then Parthia is over here too with some Eastern Spears. A fight breaking out in the woods. We can't see a lot of the enemy infantry line, but we can see multiple skirmishers. There's some Eastern Slingers, Parthian Foot Archers, very dangerous units here. The rebels are going to be in a tough spot in terms of skirmishing. It looks like the Servile Rebellion on the other side of this is going to be playing as Player 1, which is the melee infantry. I can already see some Rebel Infantry and Seekers of Freedom, which I believe is a Berserker unit. So that should be interesting to get to see them in action. Boy, they do a lot of damage there. Very little armor, very typical Berserker type unit. Some mercenary peltast here for Parthia. I don't see that very often. Probably helping to maybe fend off cavalry charges up here, though they are very vulnerable to those charges. There could be units hidden in the scrub, though, but Parthia has a very significant skirmish force here. And over here, we are definitely seeing some Noble Horse Archers as the general, Armored Horse Archers, Sarmatian Horsemen, Steppe Horse Archers, another unit over there. So Parthia is going to have their work cut out for them in terms of holding that river crossing. This map's interesting, kind of has that river sliced through over there. I think it's all just shallow water though, and there can be a crossing at any point. It's not like there's a choke point over here. These 2 forces just ended up lined up against each other. Rebel Slingers holding out surprisingly well considering the overwhelming numbers they were up against. I'm guessing both sides aren't really doing a lot of damage to each other because of the significant amount of forest here. The vegetation gets removed when I get up close to it, so that's why it looks like it's just a bunch of dead trees. But it makes it easier to see. It's a setting that I have turned on in the game, so there would typically be palm leaves and stuff. It's just going to make it a lot more difficult to see your units if you leave that turned on. That can be accessed from a spacebar menu on the newer Total Wars, but on this one you would have to go into the game options and take care of it there, at least from here. I don't think it works in the replay to that regard. Let's see if we can see some more units back here. Indeed we can, with a pike phalanx out of the Rebel Militia. I like that, so they have a Militia Phalanx unit. That is a very interesting tool in their belt. The Seekers of Freedom still visible. Royal Cataphract there for Parthia on the other side. Parthia has some really dangerous skirmishers. Look at this. Shots across the river. I think that's Scythia over there. I'll find out at the end whether I'm right. I think there's Roxolani. Sorry, that may be Roxolani. Roxolani, Royal Scythia, Masegete, I believe are your 3-step factions, right? This could be Roxolani. Oh boy. This is a massive skirmish going on over here. Noble horse archers, steppe horse archers, armored horse archers. That's Sarmatian horsemen. That is a deadly melee cav right here. It's going to go toe-to-toe with some camel frax, though, which also deadly. But that Draco going in there, it's going to hurt the camel cataphracts. You can see it's deleting their bonus versus large right now. Rapid volley went off back here, but it's not going to affect the... Wow, that made a huge difference with Draco there. Huge difference. That camel cataphract is struggling, and then here comes in the support here. So Parthia happened to stop that charge, but they're gonna pay a dear price for it. Are they gonna go in? They're gonna go in. The rest of their horse archers. Woo, it's risky because then they're gonna become a target here as these units pull back. And there's another Sarmatian horseman nearby too. That's another heavy melee cav. So those steppe armored lancers came in as relief there at the end, and the camel cataphracts get torn apart. There is a rebel veteran spearman out here to help now, and that will theoretically be a big add. Ooh, this unit over here is outnumbered. I don't know. Is it hoping to actually get into a melee here? Surely not. Oh, it's going to go for it. Wow. That noble horse archer just going in against the other noble horse archer and the armored horse archer. Parthia getting extremely aggressive over here. I don't know if that's going to pay dividends because now that unit is completely singled out over here, well beyond the reach of reinforcements. Oh, and that Sarmatian horseman is catching up to those noble horse archers. That's rough. Take a look at the main line. We're starting to see a clash here. Persian hoplites up against rebel spears, but being backed up by the rebel militia, so nice combined arms by the rebels here, using cheap units to potentially be effective. Rebel swordsmen going toe-to-toe with some Galatian swords. And then it looks like some rebel militia going up against Galatian swords. We got the chain breakers here, too. That's the archer swordsman hybrid unit, the chain breakers. Over here at Galatian Legionary, they are going to eat the lunch of that rebel infantry. They don't have a prayer over there, but there's two of them, so I don't know. It's going to bury that Galatian in a lot of bodies for a long time, so we'll see. But, I mean, at the moment, I like the chances of Galatia over here, but it depends on what the Servile Rebellion can sow. There's some Seekers coming up, and it looks like they are headed for that Galatian Legionary that is buried in rebel infantry at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. There's a cataphract moving up over there, but this Roxolani cavalry is going to be potentially a big threat to come across the river and start rolling across a flank. Parthia can harass them. There's a spear unit that it's going to be very slow trying to keep up here, and then there's rebel raiders back here to protect it as well. Look at that, the rebel raiders getting javelins into the flank of that Galatian legionary as it moves around. Those Seekers headed into combat, they are racking up a lot of kills here. They quickly picked up 15 kills, but their low armor means they should start to take a lot of damage. Okay, they're going to cycle charge. That's a good idea. I was going to say, those units getting held in there for a long time won't be able to... Ooh, nice targeting here from those missiles. Look at that. Chewing into those Seekers. Parthian cataphracts getting real aggressive here against other Parthian cataphracts. Those are camel fracks up against royal cataphracts. And there is some support back here from the rebel spears. They're being chased by those Seekers. And Parthia loses yet another unit of camel cataphracts, and so the mobility here is starting to get into some pretty serious question. Parthia might lose its general over here. The champions of Capua moving towards this flank help out against the rebel raiders and Sarmatian horse that are charging there. This is going to get interesting back here. That rebel spearman chasing the camel cataphracts. They did get a javelin volley out, which was devastating. So the royal cataphracts actually down quite a few units at the moment. That Galatian legionary buried both of those rebel swordsman units. I'm not surprised. And that Galatian swordsman actually doing really well here up against the chain breakers. The chain breakers, though, have 209 kills. Probably used all of its ammunition prior to getting into melee. That is an impressive showing. The rebel militia is a nice touch there, too. And then look at those Parthian archers just shredding. The forest, though, is providing a lot of benefit here. Look at that champion of Capua had gotten behind the line, but gets taken out. A lot of skirmishers still from both sides. A little bit of cavalry from both sides, but the cavalry for the home team is nearly exhausted at this point in terms of just not being alive anymore. This Noble Horse Archer is, again, kind of out on an island here at a little bit of risk. But these are just Steppe Horse Archers left here, but that Sarmatian Horseman could certainly finish it off. So, caution for the Parthian there might be the better part of valor. See, the Chain Breakers here kind of being ignored. Now the Parthian Foot Archers are going to have to be chased down, and you've got units here that could be brought back from routing, it looks like. Not noticed again at the moment, but they're going to be pushing that direction. It does look like the home team can wrap this one up at this point. I think as long as they don't make any big mistakes here, I just don't think the Parthians are going to be able to skirmish this out because they don't have anything to hold. Once you run out of units to kind of hold a formation or protect you, the units in Rome 2 aren't really fast enough to skirmish back and kind of keep the fight going while they skirmish away. And ammunition isn't always, you know, enough in the game either. Like, there's a limited ammunition, especially for archers. They clear through their ammunition pretty quickly. They have a high rate of fire, do a lot of damage. Nice shot there coming in from that Rebel Slinger into the back of those Seekers. Seekers, one of the few units here that's left to help protect all these archers. They are low on armor, and they have their backs turned, and their backs are going to be getting pelted with missiles here. That is not going to feel good. That's going to sting for sure. Look at this Rebel Veteran Spear here. Very nice support out here to help that Noble Horse Archer, which has been fighting kind of alone. I'm assuming that this replay may have gotten glitched a little because I have a hard time believing that this unit was forgotten about like this, right in this position. And then same thing here, that Seeker or Chainbreaker kind of got ignored earlier, so there's probably a bit of a glitch in the replay. I'm not sure if there was a small update to the mod or something that caused some of that, but it also could just be that a player, you know, got disconnected or wasn't paying attention. I'm not exactly sure. But for the most part, it looks like the replay is working. Archers get caught on the red line back here, again, nowhere to run. So this is going to be a mop-up operation, though this Royal Cataphract is probably about to make someone have a bad day, at least temporarily. They're going into a diamond formation here, which I believe is going to pick up some of their stats. Yeah, charge bonus. Yeah, you can see the Galatians potentially bracing against that charge. Here comes a trample charge. Yeah, they're surrounded all sides, so they just got to go in. So here comes the last hurrah of the Royal Cataphracts. They'll get a few kills here, but they're going to go down here. This is the end of the line for them. Look at that, 122 charge bonus. That is pretty significant. And then all the archers, again, nowhere left to run at this point. So kind of as I suspected at that point, the enemy skirmishers just didn't really have anywhere left to run. Cataphract's still doing some work back here. I'm surprised it's still alive, but there we go. I'm going to end the replay so we can check out the stats here. So Ninja Keeper, nice play with Galatia there. Very solid infantry line. It paid big dividends in this battle. Sol Invictus playing the skirmishing role with the Servile Rebellion, and a good job. Skirmishers kept alive. They got a lot of kills, so I think that was a good job there. The Rebel Marksmen doing quite well. Champions of Capua, cool units there. Vortigant Sauce bringing in the Parthian Cavalry. Very aggressive, but had units still alive at the end there and was able to hold out against the Roxolani was on the other side there by Wilkie. And a good job by Wilkie. That was an epic cav duel there between Vortigant Sauce and Wilkie. I enjoyed that one. And De Vries here bringing in the Servile Rebellion on the other side with the Chainbreakers. Boy, that Chainbreaker was having a day. 269 kills. Boy, they were on fire. Mr. Bombastic here with Parthi on the other side. That was a absolutely brutal skirmish component. I love the pick there. Those Parthian foot archers really sticking it to their enemies. So good job by all players. Appreciate them being involved and hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you soon with some more action in Total War Rome 2.